Welcome back to a brand new Clash Royale video, guys. My name is Chief Pat, and today we're going to be hopping into the next episode of our Let's Play Clash Royale series. First of all, opening these chests that I've been saving up on the very bottom, and then we're going to take a look at our deck. Now, normally I'll start off an episode by talking about the new cards that we've unlocked, but since the last episode, we actually haven't unlocked anything, which means we're just going to knock our upgrades out and then move into a trio of battles. So once again, I like upgrading each and every card, especially below 400 gold in the very beginning. So gonna go ahead and knock all of these out. Everything's relatively cheap. We've got the Tombstone for 50, we've got the Cannon for 50, the Barbarians for 50, so literally just knocking all of these out, getting that XP, especially now that we just hit level 5, ding. And yeah, level 5, pretty nice. Of course, we still have the troops of a level 4, but we'll get there sometime soon, but definitely a step in the right direction as we keep climbing those arenas. Okay, so looks like that's our final upgrade for the cannon as far as our deck goes. We have a pretty solid deck right now. This is one that I would definitely recommend to everyone at a lower level. You don't have to have the Prince if you want to use it, but it's a pretty solid combination of cards. Generally in lower level arenas, it really isn't about the cards, it's learning the basics of the game, how to play the game, how to effectively trade, and that's really how you climb the rankings. Of course, I will make different decks for each arena once I start getting up there to help you guys when you're climbing, but for now, really just focused on the gameplay more than the decks. So let's go ahead and get into our first battle. Okay, so we're going to be playing PEKKAs RTS. And let's go ahead and start off with a Knight to counter that Valkyrie. Of course, we want to make sure we're fighting on our side of the map, especially when we have a level disadvantage. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to drop Goblins to try to distract this Giant Skeleton. And then as soon as that Giant Skeleton gets a little bit low, I'm going to play a Prince. And of course, since the Giant Skeleton takes 3 seconds to have that bomb explode, Prince is going to have plenty of time to start making his way down the lane and not get hit by that giant bomb. Now, normally people might start dropping more cards now. They might keep going on that push, but it's really smart to be a little bit more conservative. I see a common mistake where when people have one troop going down the lane, they think that they have to drop every single troop that they have down that lane. Not necessarily the case. Take the damage when you can get it. Don't overextend and leave yourself open to have a counter push. And sort of just save up and wait for your opponent to go on the offensive. So since he did drop a balloon there, that would be a good time to go in for a push. And as you can see, I did get a little bit destroyed by that Valkyrie by dropping all of those troops together. A very nice counter by him. Of course, having my own baby dragon to counter his, as well as having my own crown tower attack it, means I'm going to win this trade right here, and I can go for another push on his side. Now, deciding if I want to drop a goblin or a fireball, really don't think it's a smart idea. If I do get a little bit of damage on that witch, I could have fireballed it and killed it, but I normally would never recommend fireballing a witch because she will survive and keep spawning skeletons down the lane. Alright, so it looks like we've got our bomb tower down, Goblin to distract this mini P.E.K.K.A. We already have the lead, so no need to play crazy. I'll definitely accept a 1 crown to 0 victory. Saving up our elixir, we should be even, or maybe a little bit ahead right now. And with a balloon being dropped, again, a very easy musketeer. Both of our crown towers should start shooting at that balloon. Yeah, we got the second one for a little bit. And then now we can start going down and splitting both lanes. So Prince down one lane, musketeer bomber down the other. He's going to have to pick his poison where he wants to defend. Looks like he's going to go on the right-hand side. Not too bad of a decision, but of course that means we will pick off that first tower of the game, and we have a pretty commanding advantage going into the last couple of seconds. So 45 seconds left, he's going for a big push. Dragon will be shot down by that crown tower, so don't have to worry about that. Mini P.E.K.K.A is going to go down fairly quickly as well, so I'm just going to start a push down the right-hand side with a bomber to clean up these last couple of troops. Of course, that balloon is going to be a little bit of a problem. Going to drop another bomb tower to distract it while I try to train up my elixir. I'm going to drop a baby dragon right now as my crown tower smacks away, and with only a Valkyrie down the right-hand lane, things look pretty good, even though that balloon got a little bit of damage off against the tower. Really not too much to swing the battle, and with 10 seconds left, that will wrap it up for this one. A 2 crown to 0 victory. Very simple, just making sure we pace ourselves throughout the battle, and good game to PEKKAs RTS. So of course, let's go ahead and get another chest and start that up as soon as this battle is over. Again, 2 to 0 in my feeder clan, the Clastronauts. 29 trophies and a golden chest, perfect for overnight or starting up whenever we want. Okay, so 2 trophies or 2 crowns towards our crown chest. Let's go ahead and hop into another battle immediately. Not going to switch our deck up from now. I'll probably just use the same deck in most of the battles today. And again, getting matched up with Joshua, and it looks like he's a level 5 as well, so it's going to be a pretty matched battle. We still have plenty of cards to upgrade inside of our deck, but facing someone your level, as I'm sure many of you guys have raged about this, facing someone your level is fine. Facing someone above you can get pretty tired pretty quick. So let's go ahead and get into another battle where he starts off with a giant as well as a witch. Now notice where I place my baby dragon. I don't place my baby dragon in front of the giant because I know that the giant would just start tanking my baby dragon while the witch and the musketeer shot at it. So I drop my dragon behind the giant to help assassinate that witch, and then the rest of my troops were able to clean him up before he really got to the tower, giving me a massive counter push on the other side of the map. So far so good. Mini P.E.K.K.A is a pretty good card to counter me as far as that push goes, but the damage has already been done, and with 157 health left on that tower, it's looking to be pretty smooth from here. Okay, so Mini P.E.K.K.A is going down the lane. Looks like our prince did a good job. A very effective card, not by itself would be the bomber, but when you put something like a knight or a prince in front of it, it's going to go ahead and give it a pretty nice cushion to do its damage. If someone drops a skeleton army or spear goblins, my bomber can take those out pretty quickly, and dropping his giant down the lane, it will get pretty much killed, especially with that last bomber shot right there, and that will do it for his push, and we have a pretty clear 1 crown victory. Now looking at where he's going to drop his card, I'm prepping a knight, and as soon as that witch went down, you guys saw I was hovering my knight. It's an important thing inside of this game. You want to make sure that you're always hovering your next move because it might give you that half second, full second advantage. So that's why I had my knight prepped and ready to see if he responded on the other side, and as soon as he did, I dropped that knight immediately, giving me half of the HP of that tower right away. I didn't hesitate about what I was doing. I held that knight right there, and as soon as he responded on that other side, which honestly he shouldn't have, he should have just tanked that baby dragon damage, I made sure to drop my stuff, and I was able to take him out pretty quickly and get about half damage to that tower that prince just cleaned up as he made his way down the left-hand lane. So with that barbarian hut obviously costing 7 elixir, really doesn't give him that much left to defend against that prince, as well as another goblin hut right there. But notice that my bomber is an absolute beast, as well as the baby dragon is as well against the spawner deck, because they can just keep mowing down those waves. I will drop a fireball on the witch at this point because I've already taken over his side of the map, and I can drop a prince right on top of her after that's done. And this one is all but over with only a couple of seconds left as we make another massive push towards his base. So with only that goblin hut left, this one is pretty much over. Prince is going to lock onto the tower, and that will do it with one last fireball to clean it up, and that will be a 3 crown victory, giving us a little bit closer of an edge to our crown chest. So good game to Joshua, 3 crowns as well as 34 trophies in the silver chest. Hit him with the well played. Always make sure you guys use manners in this game, unless of course they are a Dirty Expo user or they're mean back to you. But anyways, let's go into our third battle. But before that, we've unlocked P.E.K.K.A's Playhouse Arena 4 with the Tesla, Minion Horde, Inferno Tower, Hog Rider, Freeze, as well as the P.E.K.K.A. All of those are actually pretty good cards. This is one of the best arenas that you can unlock new cards in, so definitely excited to see that. I could use almost all of those cards inside of any deck. Even the P.E.K.K.A, which is super huge and 7 elixir, definitely has found its way, especially in this most recent update. So let's go ahead and get into one more battle against Cesar from 6th Republic, and he's going to start off with a Tesla tower in the very center. So if this guy knows what he's doing, might be pretty tough to crack his base. He's going to use a witch, which we should be able to counter with our baby dragon as well as our bomber. I will drop a fireball at this point because I will get pretty good value on that by hitting the baby dragon as well. Bomber almost takes out that witch to where she only has a couple of hit points left, but she will start making her way down the lane, and she really shouldn't get too much off against my tower. I don't have a great counter to that goblin barrel, so it ends up getting a couple of hits off, actually only like 1 or 2. But let's go ahead and go on our own push now that he should be fairly low on elixir. He dropped that, I guess, goblin barrel. He dropped a couple of other things, but he did have enough elixir for those barbarians, which ended up taking out my prince. So pretty well played by him. And let's go ahead and go back on the defensive with a bomber. So this one's been pretty back and forth so far. Looks like he knows what he's doing. He's playing a Tesla for defense. Honestly, I would have pushed his Tesla spot. You see where he's dropping his Tesla? That's not a very effective place to play it because it won't get troops to go to it because it's too far back. You want to play it about 2 spaces up. If you look at those square blocks on the ground, it should be 2 blocks up of where it is, or I guess down, depending on your perspective, because you want to make sure that it actually distracts the troops, which it's not doing right now. And you can see the card advantage going to work. It looks like he was actually able to take out my musketeer with that fireball. I dropped a prediction fireball to see if he was going to drop spear goblins or anything else, but nothing ended up being dropped, so that was pretty bad for me. But I do have a counter with a bomb tower, which should be able to decimate these barbarians and that witch. So far so good. Was able to take out the barbarians at least. Spear goblins helps him out a bit. Bomber is another counter to that witch. So our decks are doing really well against each other, even though He does have a level on most of his stuff. He's been playing pretty well. He plays a baby dragon, which is good against our bomber, and that's where the Tesla should be, at least right there, maybe even one spot farther than that. That's the prime spot for a Tesla, in case you guys were wondering, and what I was talking about a little bit earlier. So baby dragon, goblin barrel push, that's a really awesome combination. Pretty smart that he's figured that out. Looks like we're gonna go ahead and go for a massive push down this lane. We got a fireball, but he has a freeze, which ends up being a little bit of a problem. That Tesla has plenty of time to punish, and with only 850 health left on our tower, this one has been pretty back and forth. You can definitely say he's winning, and at this point he starts going for the fireballs. We're definitely in contention for our first loss ever on this account, so we're gonna step it up, switch up our combinations, and let's see what we can do. Okay, so he's going to go ahead and drop his barbarians, but what I'm going to do is switch lanes. You guys might notice that a lot of people get locked into a single lane. I'm going to end up actually going down the left-hand side to try to switch it up against him. He does have a smart free spell to take me out, but still good to keep him on his toes. Looks like he's got another fireball taking out our musketeer, as well as hitting our tower, and with only about 50 seconds left, really going to be tough to win this. We don't have much damage off on either of his towers. He's getting pretty smart to some of our tricks. We're not able to switch it up. Even the multi-lane approach he was able to sniff out, so definitely a good player with these barbarians heading towards our bomb tower. Now, of course, we will be able to dominate these barbarians. That's what that bomb tower does, and we really just need to try to make another big push as his free spell goes down. And with that free spell, that's a perfect opportunity for our prince to go down the left-hand lane. He drops a Tesla. That's not going to do too much. Still has full HP as I drop my fireball. Fireball is going to end up hitting those barbarians. A great prediction fireball right there, and with 466 HP left on that tower, we still have not cracked his base. With 9 seconds left, this one is all but over, and this is going to be a tie between myself and Cesar. A very good battle, but no one ends up getting the victory. So honestly, well played to him. He had pretty good amount of counters to most of my stuff, as well as my deck with my bomber, and as well as my bomb tower and my baby dragon were able to sniff out the barbarians and the witches. So close to pulling out a victory towards the end, but still 1132 trophies, not too shabby at Arena 4. And taking a look at my battle log, things have been going pretty well also. So that's going to do it for the 6th episode of this Let's Play series, guys. We're definitely getting up there, and sooner than later, we'll start playing players who are 2 to 3 levels above me, which is going to be a little bit of a bummer, but still, I'm going to give you guys my best advice along the way, as well as make specific videos for certain topics I want to talk about. Again, if you guys have a certain deck you want me to try, whether it's spawners, whether it is building decks, I'm more than willing to do those. I guess right now I am sort of trying to win as much as possible to see how long I can win without losing, but I'm definitely going to be switching it up, trying out a bunch of different stuff, because that's the awesome thing about this game. You can literally play 100 different combinations, and yeah, that is going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you drop a like. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.